I send thousands of messages to ChatGPT every year, and it's become my secret weapon as a technical program manager and people leader. In this video today, we're going to talk about all the ways that I've been using ChatGPT and even other AI tools as an extension of myself, as an extension of my team, in terms of productivity, strategy, coaching, decision making, and so much more. So, hi, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Sean, otherwise known as Millhouse, and I'm a technical program manager. I am a jack of all trades, master of none, and I am passionate about all things AI. So, over the past year, ChatGPT has become somewhat of a thinking partner of mine, as it has for a lot of other people. I treat it as a person, and I encourage all of you to do the same. And I totally get that that sounds strange, right? You're like probably wondering to yourself, wow, that's weird. This guy's telling me to talk to AI as if it's a person. But just hear me out. If you do that, you will get much better results. I understand that large language models and tools like ChatGPT are tools, right? But at the end of the day, they require context to be successful, the same way a person does. So treat them like a person, give them the context they need, and you will get much better results. And so, as I was saying, I use them as a thinking partner. ChatGPT helps me move faster without over engineering at times, and it also gives me clarity when I'm stuck in ambiguity, which is something program managers tend to grapple with quite a bit. So, the main ways that I use ChatGPT include writing and communication, metrics and insights, process and frameworks, leadership and coaching, and creativity and side projects. Now, if we dig into each of those independently, we'll start off with writing and communication. And now, as a technical program manager, or even as a non technical program manager, we thrive in communication and writing, documentation, and everything in between. And so, having a partner like ChatGPT has been huge. It allows me to draft OKRs, executive summaries, one pagers, and impact statements relatively quickly. All I have to do is provide it with the context that is necessary, the same context that I would provide to somebody on my team, and do a bit of wordsmithing along the way. I can wordsmith for tone, like professional, concise, and clear. I can layer in more or less detail as warranted based on the context and the situation, because we don't want to overshare due to data privacy concerns. And so it's been a huge success for me. Does it get it right every step of the way? No. But at the end of the day, it gets me further along a lot faster. One example of this is taking raw notes and turning them into executive ready updates. Now, of course, I need to feed in what does an executive ready update even look like? How do you redact filler words? How do you keep them short, concise, and pithy to the point for executives? But once you set that base level of context, it's really incredible what ChatGPT and other tools are able to produce. So the next topic that I use ChatGPT a lot for is metrics and insights. ChatGPT thrives on data, right? It is a technical tool. It is used by engineers and analysts alike. And so for someone like myself, who I know enough to be dangerous, I have a master's degree in database systems. I was a software engineer for a little while. I don't dabble in it every day. So turning to ChatGPT for help with SQL queries, Tableau calculations, and even forecasting models has been huge. It allows me to simplify complex data into visuals or narratives. It can pick up on patterns that I otherwise wouldn't, and allows me to really dig into things like lead time or cycle time data, throughput, identify different patterns in engineered productivity, you name it. So it's really powerful for that. Up next would be process and frameworks. Again, as a program manager, we tend to love governance models, run books, intake processes, but they tend to be a bit painful, a bit arduous to set up. And ChatGPT does a great job with this. It can leverage tons of research. It can look at different forums to see what other practitioners are grappling with and pull it all together into a cohesive package. They can focus on continuous improvement and operating models, and it can do just enough governance for things like spinning up a new project or program, building some governance for a hackathon that you otherwise don't really need to worry too much about the nitty gritty and perfection, right? So really cool, really great stuff for process and frameworks. And mind you, this is all just the tip of the iceberg. There is a lot of in-depth detail I can provide here. So by all means, if you have questions, if you want me to dig into anything in more detail, please let me know. I would love to talk about more of this. The fourth area that I use ChatGPT for quite often then is leadership and coaching. Yes, I am a technical program manager, but I'm also a people leader. I have 5 direct reports, all of which are program managers and technical program managers. I indirectly manage people. I have a lot of influence across the organization. And so ChatGPT is a great way for me to explore different frameworks like the trust triangle, situational leadership, the drama triangle, and so on, the speed of trust, things like that. It's really great to help me prepare for one-on-ones, performance management, and things like that. It allows me to rewrite performance levels into growth-minded language. And mind you, I still need to feed it all of this context. I still need to share notes. So it's not replacing me. It's not producing anything I wouldn't be able to produce on my own, but it does speed up the process. It does come up with things that are a little bit more digestible. It frames things in a way that somebody might be able to perceive better. Communication is not always my strong suit. I tend to be a bit more blunt and direct. Other people don't always appreciate that. So ChatGPT allows me to kind of bounce things off of it and really collaborate on what the best outcome might be, if that makes sense. And then last but not least, creativity and side projects. I am not one to sit here with idle hands. I talk with my hands, as you can see, and I'm always thinking about new and creative things. Whether it's building internal tools for the organization, whether it's using it for personal growth and development, experimenting more with AI, more with technology. ChatGPT and other tools really allow me to do quick research, prove or disprove hypotheses and theories, contribute to the community. I can even use it to perfect and collaborate on different content, blogs, YouTube videos, TikTok captions, stickers, and so on. So really, really powerful stuff, if I say so myself. And so really what's been most impactful for me so far, well, the big one is of course executive communication. It is a learned thing. It is an art as much as it is a science. And ChatGPT does a really great job once you lay that foundation and set the context for it to provide executive level comms. Again, metrics is really great. It can dive into different patterns. It can use data to tell stories. It can use data to figure out how to get others to tell the story. It can, of course, bring a different coaching angle to the forefront of my work. And at the end of the day, it brings all of these things together to amplify my role as a multiplier for teams and as someone who's really keen on strategic success across the board. So, At the end of the day, ChatGPT, it doesn't give me the answers always, but it does make me think better. I have to give it the clarity and the context it needs, and that is really key here. It allows me to think differently. I can use it to interview me, to draw out things that I wouldn't otherwise think of providing. It can start with why. It can embody an individual or a person that maybe is more junior. So it allows me to perfect my leadership skills, if you will. But at the same time, I get more speed and clarity and a creative partner, and one that doesn't get tired of listening to me, and one that's always there, as weird as that sounds. So it's really like having a co pilot for a lot of the unstructured parts of program management. So, if you're in program management or leadership, experiment with AI as a partner. Don't just use it as a tool, don't just use it for tasks. Use it to amplify your thinking and use it to delegate things to, and really multiply what you're capable of doing. Let me know in the comments if you found any of this valuable, if any of this is something you're going to take and put into action on your own, and be sure to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for listening, and until next time, be well and keep on learning. Take care.